into game number 2 between Mothump, Age of Conquerors, and GrandNagus. Scene switching indeed. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 5 series for the for Group 1 of the Australian Open. We have here Mothump AOC playing off against GrandNagus. Now, obviously, Mothump playing a very strong and effective game in the previous matchup. Taking the victory means that the settings dictate that Nagus gets to choose a home map, with civilizations being hidden civilizations. Taking the fog of war off, not that it's completely necessary, we can, we can see that the map is indeed Arena. And in saying that, let's go ahead and introduce the players, have a look at their maps and see what could be going on in this game. So down here to the eastern corner of the map, we have, playing in the blue trunks, Mothump, and he has chosen the Goths today for his civilization of choice. His opponent, the man who chose this map as his home map, playing in the red, is GrandNagus, and he has chosen the Franks. And this is quite interesting as well. Okay, so let's have a look at Nagus's map first. Well, where is his main gold? There it is. Nagus has his main gold out on the front of his base. A little bit nasty for him, but until, for example, castles or anything like that with bodkin arrow fletching and all those good sorts of range upgrades come in, it's going to be pretty much unharassable, so he should be fine in that respect. Another gold out on the front of his base, not so nice, not really what you want to be dealing with. We do see that he has a stone, there's stones towards the back of his base, as well as his berries at the back. And of course the Frank's getting that extra quick foraging. Really nice for him that he has his berries in a safe location. He does have a little bit of a backyard into which he can boom, and he is lucky, he's quite fortunate in the fact that he does have these 2 extra golds as well, or 2 extra golds rather, in this area here. That he can take relatively safely. Mothump, on the other hand, what have we got for our Gothic player here? Well, out on the front, outside of his walls, he has one of his extra golds, main stone, out on the front. Definitely harassable. Definitely harassable location for him there. Another stone out to the front of his base, and geez, that's terribly unfortunate for his stone positions, especially being the Goths. What else can we see for Mothump? Well, he does have his main gold well in the back. Nice volcanoes. Nice and safe for him, and just like Nagus, he does have a bit of a back area into which he can boom, which is always nice as the Goths. Oh, there's the other gold. Okay, he does have another gold here as well as having another spare gold in his wee backyard area here as well. Now, of course, what are we going to see? What are we going to see for these 2 players here? Well, we're going to see fast castles, which means that I have to try and fill in the time. Until these guys get up to the castle edge. Unless one of them is going to do, for example, like a tower hop into a drush. That would be fantastic to see. Feel like it's not going to happen though, which always makes me sad. So fast castles all round is what's going to happen. Now, who do I think has the advantage in the late game? I'm going to give the advantage to the Goths. Really? Do I though? Yeah, I'm probably going to give the advantage. Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure who the advantage goes for. I was thinking more or less along the lines of if the Franks want to go Paladin, which is what they're very strong at doing, the Goths can switch into Halberdier. But then, of course, in Frank mirror matchups, for example, on Deathmatch, often we will see either hand cannons, for example, from the Frank player to counter any Halberdier, or maybe even throwing axemen. And throwing axemen do fantastically well against infantry. But then I was thinking, okay, the Goths can also go for bombard cannons, but then the Franks can also go for bombard cannons, and I'm not really sure how this one is actually going to play out. So I haven't actually seen too many Goth-Frank wars on Arena. In fact, I've never ever seen a Goth-Franks war on Arena. So what I have seen on Arena before is I've seen that the relic position and placements is very important. And in this case, GrandNagus has been turning on his map hacks because he has 1 relic just outside of his walls. I correct myself, he has 2 relics. Oh my god, look at this. He actually has 3 relics just outside of his walls. So he's going to be in a really nice position in terms of taking those relics really quickly. And this 4th one here is pretty much all his as well. Whereas his other relic, I would say, yeah, it's probably just a bit closer to Mothump. Let's say it's a little bit closer to Mothump because, you know, Nagus is pretty much going to be able to gobble up those extra 4 relics anyway. Now, what are we going to see from both of these players? Well, I've already kind of been over that. I don't really know. So we're just going to have to see what kind of populations these guys decide to go up on. Nagus going for the really, really super strong 2k mill placement. Mothump is not me. I have realized that. I looked over and I saw that Fletch was talking in the chat, and I was like, oh, the Fletch, I don't know. But of course, we can see that the super strong 1800 Steam player coming out here for Nagus. A, losing his boar, and B, milling his deer. What else? What can we see from Mothump? Has he got any deer inside of his walls? Well, no, he does not. He's got his deer outside his walls. They are very, very close to his mill. So deleting a wall here, pushing his deer through, and he would be in a really nice position to be able to click up on a nice 25 plus 2 population. Population fast castle. Unfortunately, he doesn't look like he wants to do that, as he's kept his scouts staying nice and nice and inactive. Oh no, there we go. Now he's moving it. It was nice and active for a little bit there. There is also a stone pile here, out pretty much equidistant between the two players, which is not really going to be of too much concern for the time being. So again, we're just trying to fill in fill in time before these guys do decide to go up into the castle age. It would be quite interesting, quite fun to see. Jesus, that is... okay, that's not the nice mining camp that I would have not the nicest mining camp that I would ever have seen, but it's totally fine. It's absolutely okay. Now, what would be really, really fun to see, I casted a set of games earlier today. I can't actually remember who they were between because I'm a scrub, but it was a really fun game in which we saw... actually, no, I can't remember, but it was a Siege Monk push, and it was a lot of fun to watch, and I still can't remember. I think it wasn't Chirp, was it? No, it was Mike? No, it wasn't Mike. It wasn't Mike and Mushu. Anyway, can't remember who it was, but a Siege and Monk push was really fun to watch as well. And I can only hope that is what's going to happen here as well. But here we go, Fletch, not Fletch, Jesus, Mothump giving me something to talk about that isn't just rambling on and on and on, as he sends 3 villagers out to start gathering stone, and he has clicked up to the feudal age, going up on 27 population. So it looks like he's going to be going for the classic 27 plus 2 fast castle build order with a castle drop. If Sir Lawrence is in the chat, let's have a look at whether or not he can get that perfect 15 minutes 40 fast castle time. Nagus also having clicked up to the castle age now as well, going up on Jesus. He's going up on 27 villages, so he's going up on 28 population right off the bat. Now, my mistake, I was looking at the wrong person. It's a 25 plus 2 build here from Mothump. Did he push in deer? No, he did not. So it's going to be interesting to see how efficient this actually... I keep looking over and seeing Fletch and Mothump together in the chat. Maybe one of you guys should just leave. No, I'm kidding. Don't leave. So both of these guys now having clicked up to the feudal age. Nagus not really giving us any indication as to what he is going to be doing in the way of, for example... So many Aussies and Kiwis here. Oh yeah, it's because we can understand, the Australians and Kiwis can understand how I talk, whereas the Europeans cry a little bit about it. Now, what have we got for Nagus? Well, by the looks of it, Nagus is just going to go up to to the castle age, and he's just going to go for a wee bit of a boom into the feudal... Oh, in saying that, he throws up a barracks right at the end, just at the end there, just to really throw me off. What else is he going to do then? Is he going to go for a blacksmith stable? Obviously, as the Franks getting out those knights could be super, super strong to give himself a bit of map control, but at the same time, also at the same time, we know that Mothump, because we have the ability, we have the ability here to be able to see the fact that Mothump is going to be going for a castle drop once he gets up. Knights, not knights, monks coming out, not going to be a very real possibility for him. So going for a stable, as we can see here from Nagus, is going to be really strong for him as well. Stable blacksmith for Nagus. Mothump having to sell a little bit of stone. Unfortunately, he hadn't actually moved out to gold to take it. And up he goes. Is he going to go up? There we go. Up he goes. 16 minutes and 9 seconds. Unfortunately, not getting in that perfect 15 minutes 40 fast castle time. But it looks like wow, he's got a lot of villagers over on stone. Will he have enough stone to throw down his castle when he gets up to the castle age? We'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell, but of course, it doesn't really matter whether or not he does... It doesn't matter whether or not he gets it up immediately. Time is not really of the essence, as he is going to be in the castle age just a little bit before his opponent, Nagus, having gone up on 30 population, whereas Mothump clicking up on 28. So that also begs the question then, where is Mothump actually going to place his castle? Well, let's have a look at his scouting of his opponent's base. He doesn't actually know that Nagus's main gold is sitting pretty just here. He doesn't know that Nagus is going to go ahead and do stables. He doesn't know too much about Nagus's base at all, which only leads me to believe that he may be placing his castle defensively. Although to be fair, his main gold is sitting quite nice and safe and secure at the back of his base. Maybe he wants to try and prevent any sort of funny business coming in from Nagus. Maybe he'll place his castle here, or maybe he's going to go really, really aggressive, place a forward castle, get a couple of petards, and then go ahead and start punching his way into the economy here of Nagus. It could be a bit of a detrimental move, in my opinion, since Nagus does have up a stable and starting to get out some of those all-important scout cavalry, with which he can start picking off any monks that might be coming out. From Mothump. Of course, the Knights also would be a fantastic, not a counter, but be able to deal with the Huskarls that would be coming out from Mothump quite efficiently as well. But we'll just have to wait and see what Mothump does decide to do with regards to his castle placement. And we're going to have to wait for quite a while because he is still quite a lot of stone short as well. Bowsaw being kicked in straight away for him, always what I like to see. And he's actually going for a town centre first, so he's in no rush, absolutely no rush to be throwing up his castle for the time being. He will be able to have that stone in absolutely no time, but he's not going for the all-in 1 TC castle age push. No, he's not that silly. He's going to have some economy backing up his pushing here. Now, what do we see for Nagus? Well, we can see he's throwing up a monastery, and that is a fantastic decision for him. We've already discussed in the early stages of the game that he has just got relics right outside of his base, 4 relics that he can grab so easily, and he might even be able to go out here and snag. Could be a Snagus for Nagus. He could be going out here and snagging this 5th relic, seeing as though he will soon be able to see that his opponent is not going to be heading out with a monastery and not trying to take those relics for himself. So the monastery up now, monk out straight away. No gather points set as of yet for the monks coming out of this monastery. Do we see extra town centres for Nagus? Yes, we see 1 extra town centre for him as well. So these 2 players are going to be evenly matched, at least in terms of the town centre numbers. It's going to come down to whether or not they can actually keep the town centres running to determine who has the most villages. Now Mothump building his castle. Where is he doing it? Is he going to build it right here, or is he going to go out there and make it somewhere else? No, he's going to build it in a defensive location, more or less where I had anticipated at the beginning. Going up to the feudal age, it's going to be a defensively placed castle, and again, not the dumbest decision ever at all. And it hasn't exactly put him behind economically either in terms of town centres, because while he has 2 town centres up and running now, GrandNagus, oh there we go, Nagus is just getting his extra town centre up now, and unfortunately for Mothump at least, 3 town centres are going to be up for his opponent, whereas he is only going to be sitting pretty on 2 for the time being. So the economy lead, the villager lead, is going to be starting to pull ahead in favour of Nagus as he brings in 2 relics really quickly, and that's extremely nice for him. The longer this game goes in terms of passive gold income, the better position Nagus is going to be in if he can get this fat ass monk out of the way such that the other one can. There we go. Nagus has got 2 relics underneath his control already, sending out his monks with his scouts being created just to keep a little bit of map control as well. Means that he's going to be able to get pretty much all of the relics for himself. The other thing we should really mention is that how many scouts are there here? Looks to be 6. Is it 6 scouts? No, it's 5. My mistake. 5 scouts there. Okay, 400 food that Nagus has actually spent on those 5 scouts, and they were, unfortunately for him, a little bit superfluous. And what can we see in here? Well, we can see some garrisoned flags from our blue Gothic player, Huskarls, being created, sending them out into the middle of the map. Right now for Mothump could be a little bit of a waste of time, as 3 relics are already now under the control of GrandNagus as he goes ahead and starts bringing in another relic as well with the remaining monk. And is it going to be 5 relics to none? It is going to be 5 relics to none for GrandNagus, which is the equivalent of 6 villages mining gold full time, I believe. So well done to Nagus. Wasn't exactly a difficult thing for him to do, seeing as though his opponent didn't seem to give 2 shits about the fact there were relics on the map. and he's still sitting back on 2 TCs only, although in saying that, villager lead's still not really reflecting too much on the fact that there are 3 town centres up for GrandNagus, and now from here I can only I can only imagine that he would be going ahead, or both these guys are going to be going ahead and going for a boom or a yawn fest, as I like to call it when we're spectating these sorts of games. Alright, Pyro, you troll. I never said there's no way that he can lose now. I already know the outcomes of or I can guess the outcomes of these games based on how many recordings there are. I'm just saying that the longer the game goes on in terms of passive gold income, Nagus is going to be in a much, much better position than his counterpart opponent here. So again, 53 villages to 48. Mothump buying a little bit of food. Has he still not gone up on an extra town centre? Well, no, he has not. This could potentially play out in his favour, though, because obviously every 25 seconds or so, there's going to be 50 less food spent on villages for him compared to his opponent, assuming assuming that both of these guys are keeping their town centres working as well. Now, Wheelbarrow only coming in now for both of these players, so again, that's a little bit late, but I guess they had other things on their mind as well. The eco for Nagus, it seems like his booming is going really, really well. That is a lot of farms also having been seeded for him. And if we switch over to his point of view, what's his food looking like? Well, it's starting to get up there a wee bit. He's got a good amount of gold. He's keeping his wood nice and low as well, which means that we should be able to see Nagus being able to click up to the Imperial Age very, very soon, I don't doubt. Once he gets handcart, he'll find that that food is just going to roll in so quickly. It is absolutely ridiculous. And then we can see, ladies and gentlemen, we can see what sort of unit and army composition Nagus is going to be heading for. Oh, we see a little bit of aggression coming in from Mothump, and this is what we like to see. This could catch Nagus off guard quite a bit. We saw it in the previous game as well, where where Nagus had just clicked up to the Imperial Age, and a whole bunch of knights managed to find their way into his economy, and it really, really crippled his unit production and military production as well. We can see that Mothump maybe wanting to go along that same sort of route here as well. He's creating Huskarls, he's got a siege workshop, not quite forward, just sitting outside of his base for now, pushing out across the map with a couple of villages and a good number of Huskarls. Maybe he wants to start putting the smack down, really starting to pressure his opponent here. And if he has this timing down to a T as well, then he's going to be in a really, really good position to once again stunt. Really put a bit of damage into his opponent's economy, just as Nagus wants to get up to the Imperial Age. Another siege workshop coming forward as well, and Nagus, unfortunately, we were following his scouts just before, doesn't realise that there's anything out here, but now he will as the scouts move forward. He knows that there's a siege workshop here at the very least, and he also knows that there's a castle there as well. Now he knows that there's a mangonel firing upon his walls. Also, Mothump building a castle. I imagine it's only going to be forward with these 3 villages, a little bit risky. But at the same time, these scale mail armored Huskarls are going to be able to... Oh, chainmail armor soon to be, having been researched on these Huskarls here, are going to be able to chase away these 4 scouts from GrandNagus. Now let's quickly switch back over to his point of view and see if he saw that castle being built. Well, yes, he can see that castle being built indeed. And in retaliation, he throws up his own defensive castle and switching into, or at least researching man-at-arms. Really, really good response for Nagus, building his buildings in a very, very fantastic, very efficient and effective way, funneling in towards this town centre and creating another layer of makeshift wall-offs inside his base. Obviously, the Franks also getting those cheaper castles, 488 stone, I believe is what it is, as he walls up furiously behind his initial stone walls with another layer, and then adds even more walls behind that as well. Extra couple of barracks with the man-at-arms upgrade having been done. That's fair enough. That he has done that, but in my opinion he should maybe have held on just a little bit longer so that he could click up to the Imperial Age a lot quicker now that he has the resources. Is he going to click, or is he going to stand there admiring his resource amount before he actually clicks? No, he's decided he's going to go ahead and click anyway, and in my opinion that's a very, very good idea. Now again, Nagus advancing to the Imperial Age. Is Mothump going to be able to get inside his economy and do the same eco damage that he managed to do and do the same eco damage that he managed to do in the previous game. Market being thrown up now as well for Nagus, as he has branched out into this wee backyard into which he is going to be able to boom with 2 extra gold piles and a stone as well. This man has an uncomfortable relationship with walls. He needs a mangonel to defend. Or towers. Yes, a mangonel in here would be fantastic. Although, remember, there is a castle here as well, which could do a lot of damage, or would do a lot of damage to any mangonels that get anywhere close to being in range of the mangonels here from Mothump. Anarchy and Forging coming in now for Mothump as well. And just like that, he's inside the walls. He is inside the walls of his opponent. Unfortunately, he is going to find there is another layer of stone walls and behind the stone walls that he's just punched a hole into. He could get very cheeky and come in here and do a tree hop. Unfortunately, that would require the villagers probably getting a face full of arrows and dying mercilessly as well. What is Mothump going to be able to do? Is he going to start focus firing the house? No, he's not going to start Oh, is he? What's he going to do? Is he going to start attacking the house? No, he's going to patrol, and he's going to take a lot of arrow fire from the castle, and then he's just going to start attacking some other shit. Okay, fair enough. That's all fair enough. Now, Nagus, we've already seen, has already teched into, I believe, long swords at this stage. Did he do long swords? I was just on his point of view. Let's have a quick look. Long swords it is indeed. So they're going to provide quite an effective and a cost-efficient counter to these... Oh, Jesus! Be careful, Mothump, mate. You've just almost flattened your army there, buddy. Anyway, Iron Casting coming in for Mothump now as well. Imperial Age upgrade, only a moment or two away for GrandNagus. And what is he going to do? I can only imagine that he is going to be upgrading these long swords even further to be able to try and provide a more definitive counter against these Huskars, which are currently outside of his base. And Mothump also switching into the militia line, it seems. Potentially a misclick, or potentially he just wants to get some scouting information and just double check that that castle is still there. And now that his militia has been bombarded with a face full of arrows, he can indeed confirm that that castle is still there. Two-handed swordsman now coming in for GrandNagus as well. Do we see any siege workshops? Do we see any trebs coming out of his castle? Yes, we see a couple of trebuchets coming out of his castle, and he's going to be in a fantastic spot to be able to start taking down this castle and really pushing back and clearing out all this forward aggression from Mothump as well. Long swords, no defensive upgrades on these guys just yet, and unfortunately this is the same situation that Sir Lawrence found himself in against Flat, where he thought, hey, I can send unupgraded I'm not sure if they were champions at that stage. I can send unupgraded champions at his elite Huskars, and I'm going to get the better and I'm going to get the better trades here. Unfortunately, that is not really going to be the case. And unfortunately for Nagus now as well, these 5 relics have now popped out, and he is in a bad position when it comes to the relic numbers. They were champs indeed. Okay, fantastic. This castle here from Flat... I didn't say it though. This castle here from Mothump under fire. Coming under fire, and Nagus researching champion upgrade now, as well as since the two-handed swordsman upgrade has been completed. Imperial Age upgrade now coming in for Mothump as well. Back at home, did he go up to an extra town centre? We'll have a quick look. No, he did. Yes, he went up to a 3rd town centre, sending his Huskars underneath the castle fire, because again, they just really don't give a crap what's going on in terms of castle fire at all. The Huskars getting in there, sniping down the trebuchets. Unfortunately for Nagus, he's still in an okay position. He needs to get more military production. He needs more barracks. He needs to pump out some more champs, and he needs to start taking these fights. He needs to start taking these Huskars down now as well. But if Nagus is only going to go for an infantry-based attack or an infantry-based defense here, he's going to find himself in a world of hurt, because if you go up against the infantry power that is this Gothic civilization, you are going to find yourself in a very, very difficult position indeed. We have some knights having been queued up here with Cavalier upgrade coming in now for Nagus as well. It's all fair enough. I mean, Frankish knights, Frankish Cavalier, Frankish paladins are fantastically strong, but not when you have 4 of them against this many Huskars inside your base. And of course, no murder holes having been researched for Nagus means that these Huskars can just sit at the base of this castle and start whittling away its HP. We do see some throwing axemen inside this castle coming out now for GrandNagus as well. I did not spoil it. I said I already know the outcome of these games based on how many recordings there were on AOC Zone. I didn't say how many recordings there were on AOC Zone at all. Anyway, Cavalier upgrade still coming in for GrandNagus. Is he throwing up any extra stables? No, he's not. He thinks he's going to be able to defend against this tirade, this gothic flood with only one stable. That's a very valiant approach. We'll have to see how it pays off. This castle, slowly but surely, is going to go down. And then these Huskarls are just going to be flooding into GrandNagus' economy, and GLHF getting those little bastards out of your economy when they are fully upgraded as well, which is going to happen in only a few moments time, as we can see the Imperial Age upgrade coming in 10 seconds as well. It's not easy for everyone to work out from that statement. It's only 1-0. And here we go. It's going to be an interesting trade. How's this going to go down? Let's check the upgrades. Well, there's still only the +1 attack upgrades having been done on these infantry units from GrandNagus. This is not the position he wants to be in. 4 Cavalier, a handful of pretty much unupgraded champions, and the Huskarls are going to be able to chew them up and spit them out straight away. Mothump buying a bit of food, grabbing conscription for himself as well, as if the Goths really need any help chucking out infantry at any great rate or any great pace. It's looking very, very dicey, looking very, very detrimental for GrandNagus at this stage of the game. He doesn't really have any military production buildings. He's got 3. He has 3 barracks with which he is creating a couple of spearmen, a couple of champions here and there as well. And what else can we see that Nagus can do? Switching into hand cannons maybe would have been the better option here, but at this stage it is too little, too late. He's trying to quickly wall up this part here. Oh, he's actually got the walls up! He has got the walls up, of course. Now all Mothump has to do, come through and just fantastically and just really cheekily come here and do a bit of a tree hop, which would be fantastic to see. And for the time being, I may have underestimated Nagus' position here. Maybe the defender's advantage, maybe the fact that he did stem the flow of reinforcements. Maybe stem the flow of reinforcements coming in here from Mothump. But for the time being, Nagus is actually looking like he might even be able to stabilize. Although in saying that, the only thing is he doesn't have map control. So I mean, he's not going to be able to rebuild his economy too much. He's taking up pretty much all of the space that he has available to him. Once these golds here get wiped out, then he's not going to be able to push out and start taking any more golds. This one here more or less under fire, under siege, and he won't be able to and he won't be able to go ahead and take this for a long time coming. There's no way in hell Nagus is going to be able to take that gold there, since it's under fire of the castle from Mothump. Mothump still does have a little bit of gold in the back of his base, and he now has access to 2 of Nagus's gold, well, at least 1 of Nagus's golds. Now what we also have to see is what is Mothump going to switch into here. He knows exactly what his opponent's doing. He knows he's going for champions. So sticking with Huskarls, in my opinion, probably not the best option, but of course, what do I know? I'm only a scrub caster. He's going to continue to send out the units that are going to get quite heavily countered by the ones that that his opponent is fielding at the moment. The only thing I worry about for Nagus is that he has only 3 barracks, whereas given enough time, the insane amount of barracks that the insane amount of barracks that the Gothic player is going to be able to throw up and then start spamming out just infantry unit after infantry unit after infantry unit is going to be so difficult for Nagus to be able to compete against. Now what else can we see? What can Nagus do? What is he doing? He's throwing up a couple of houses back at in the back of his base. Really what he needs, well, he needs another town centre, I guess you could say, but what he also needs is he needs some more barracks. He just needs more barracks, he needs more space. This is the thing. Mothump is playing, he's playing the long game, he's playing the patient game, and straight away there goes a third of GrandNagus' military production as well, as this castle, as this barracks does indeed go down. If this castle's going to go up in time, and these champions are going to be met with a bombardment of arrows to the face, but not before. Oh, they're going to retreat. I thought they were going to go in there, duck in, snipe down the trib, and then get the heck out of dodge. But no, they're not going to do that at all. They're just going to retreat straight away. And Nagus, unfortunately, still has no upgrades. Finally, the +1 defense coming in on these champions. They're going to make them extremely, or a lot more potent against these Huskarls that are still being flooded into his base. from Mothump. Now what Mothump really should be doing here is, yeah, okay, Elite Huskarl, not quite what I was going to say, switching into hand cannons, for example, or even champions of his own. Obviously, the Gothic champions can be created so much quicker and are so much cheaper than the Frankish ones. Siege Workshop being thrown up in the midst of GrandNagus' economy. Maybe he's looking to get some rams out to start pushing back and taking down these castles. Good luck with that, mate. That is not going to be an easy task to do at all. Does Nagus have a university up yet? Well, no, he does not. Mothump throwing up another castle. Man, this guy... I know Octagonal wanted to see a tower rush. How about a castle rush instead, as Mothump comes forward with a handful of villagers to build yet another castle inside the economy of his... Well, okay, it's not really inside the economy, but inside the economy of his opponent here, and glad to know that you did think about hand cannons toward the end of the game, but it's okay. When you have Nagus in this sort of a position, he's still going to find it very, very difficult to be able to come back and win this one conclusively. At least we have a Siege Workshop, another Siege Workshop being thrown up for GrandNagus. Let's switch back over to his point of view and see what he's actually creating from his initial Siege Workshop, and the answer is a big fat nothing. Now, the military numbers here, 45 to 39. Interesting to see that in an infantry war, the Goth player is actually outnumbered and outmassed in terms of military, but at the same time, it's just that he's just playing the long game, is our blue Gothic player Mothump here. Chemistry now coming in for GrandNagus as well. Maybe he recognizes the situation and thinks, hey, some bombard cannons could be fucking useful in here, so I can start taking down these castles and start clearing out all of this crap that is currently at the front of my base. And he's even gone a wee bit cheeky with it, and he started taking his main gold back as well, even though Mothump should really have been out there, I guess, taking control of that. But here we go. Here come the rams. The rams are coming in, only battering rams. They're going to get chewed up and spat back out very, very quickly by these Frankish champions. Chemistry not quite researched. There we go. Chemistry having been done now for GrandNagus. Are we going to see bombard cannons? We are indeed going to see some bombard cannons being queued up inside at least one of his archery ranges, as this champion's out here toward the right hand side of his base. Clean up the Huskarls that are now moving into his economy as well. It's totally fine. It's absolutely fine for him, but he is losing his barracks and his market. That's going to set him back in terms of the military production buildings, and he's only going to be able to create those all-important champions. The only units that are really holding him in the game right now, even if just by a small thread, are going to be coming out very, very slowly. Oh, that's okay. He's throwing up another barracks back at the base, in the back of his base. Maybe he'll be in an okay position to be able to take this back, but not once per effing fusion comes in as well. Forward Siege Workshop being another Forward Siege Workshop being thrown up for Mothump here. Where's the bombard cannon? There it is there. There's the bombard cannon coming out. This is going to be the game changer. We see chain mail armor coming in now as well for GrandNagus. Let's forget the fact that he's about 2.6k score lead behind. Let's forget the fact that his villager lead, his villager count is so much less than his opponents. Let's forget the fact that he is 50 population behind, and also counted in, and also going down in military. You know, he's got a couple of bombard cannons out. He takes down one of those, takes down a Huskarl there. That's definitely an effective and a good trade to take. Another castle? No, another Siege Workshop coming in here for Mothump, who is now switching into, by the looks of it, the chemistry route. Maybe he does want to go for the hand cannons. Is he throwing up any archery ranges? Let's quickly have a look. No, still no archery ranges. Maybe he just wants to go for the bombard cannons as well and really start clearing out. Oh, these archery ranges. No, those are barracks. Okay, maybe he just wants to start going ahead and starting to get those bombard cannons out as well. And Octagonal D in the chat making a very good point. This is where Fletch is meant to say, should you not just resign already? It's pretty much over, mate. There's not really much you can be able to do. I feel like taking out this blacksmith is a little bit superfluous at this point. GrandNagus seems to have forgotten that he can actually get upgrades on his units, having only just researched chain mail armor this late into the game. And we can see very, very soon that it's looking pretty GG. And look at that, it's almost as if I can tell the future. GG equals GrandNagus, as the sun sets once again on the second game, which unfortunately for Nagus was actually his home map as well. So well played to Fletch. No, not Fletch. Jesus Christ, I looked over and I saw Fletch again. I'm getting sick of this. Fletch. Jesus Christ. Well played to Mothump, taking the victory and putting himself even further in the lead. So we can see here that it is indeed a 2-0 lead for Mothump at the moment. So what we'll do really quickly, we'll switch the scene back over. We'll come out of this game and we'll look to be casting some live games. Imagine that. And I'll be right back with you guys in just a second's time.